Well, let's focus now on the standoff between Qatar and the Saudi-led coalition of nations enforcing a diplomatic and economic boycott of the Gulf state until it agrees to a list of demands that include cutting ties to Iran, ceasing funding to terror groups, and shutting down the Al Jazeera network. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is trying to mediate in the dispute, but so far he shows no signs of succeeding. Now the U.S. Congress has also stepped into the fray in an effort to find or enforce a solution. And for more on that, let's go now to Washington and speak with our correspondent there, Dan Raviv. Dan, first talk about how Congress is now getting involved in this issue.
Senator Bob Corker, who's the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee and has the ability to block any arms sale, says that he will block any arms sale to a Gulf Arab country. By that he means both Saudi Arabia and Qatar, both of which had ordered weapon systems recently from the U.S. Notably, the Saudis were going to spend $110 billion, something that President Trump celebrates as a result of his trip to Saudi Arabia last month. So all of that might be ruined. And keep in mind, Corker is a Republican. He wants Trump to score victories. But Corker is reflecting what Americans who understand foreign affairs are feeling and saying, that it is terrible that there's this rift between Qatar, where the U.S. has a very big air base, and Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Egypt, and others on the other side. The U.S. would like to help, but as you said, it's not helping yet, Calev.
Well, Dan, certainly Secretary of State Tillerson is making an effort. He met with the Qatari foreign minister yesterday. He's going to be meeting with King Abdullah of Jordan today. And Jordan is taking part in that boycott, but not in the full way that perhaps Saudi Arabia is, for example.
Well, keep in mind, Jordan is not a rich country. Is it influential? Well, King Abdullah is influential here in Washington, but because he's considered to be a very sensible person. And so President Trump, like other presidents, apparently have listened to advice from King Abdullah. Now, Abdullah's big subject is the Israeli-Palestinian dispute. Of course, many Palestinians live in the Kingdom of Jordan. But Abdullah is likely going to talk to Tillerson about how he might approach the Arabs who are now at each other's throats. And primarily, it's Saudi Arabia versus Qatar. Both countries' foreign ministers were here yesterday. The Saudi foreign minister, Al-Jubeir, said the 13 demands, including shutting down Al Jazeera TV, which is based in Qatar and owned by Qatar, are not negotiable. The Saudis are firm on this, and their partners, the United Arab Emirates, well, the foreign minister Mohammed Gargash tweeted today that our brothers in Qatar should make a wise decision. We have long suffered from the brothers' conspiracy to undermine our stability. If they want to go on with that, he means be friendly with Iran and allegedly help terrorist groups, then go ahead, but do it your way without us. So, again, the Saudis and the UAE firm in trying to cut off Qatar in every way, Calev.
And Dan, let me just ask you, is President Trump, he made one brief comment, basically seeming to support the Saudis at first. Is he going to have to get involved at some point if the U.S. really wants to end this dispute?
I'm glad you noticed that. Indeed, the president was pretty clearly on the side of Saudi Arabia, and this was more than a week ago. Trump even said that his visit to Saudi Arabia and pushing all of the Arab leaders there to oppose Iran and oppose terrorist groups, well, that's what led to this pressure on Qatar, and Trump seemed to be happy about it. Well, a lot of people in the U.S. government aware of the U.S. ties with Qatar, including that air base, were alarmed by what the president said. I would say Trump has backed off. Does he need to get involved if there's some mediation effort by the U.S.? I'm going to say no. Rex Tillerson is not a veteran diplomat. He was head of the Exxon Mobil Oil Corporation until he got this job as America's chief diplomat in January. But Tillerson is the one who really wants to help. He's being pretty nice to Qatar, and we know he has long-standing ties with the Saudis as well, Calev.
Okay, Dan Raviv in Washington, thank you for that as always.